Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We are going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Taurus for the rest of November. Now do keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, where we will be taking a look at this mid-month updates for you for this month of November. So, of course, the timeline on this reading will be from now all the way until the end of the month. And do hope that November has been treating you well so far, Taurus. And with that said, let's go ahead and get all of the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. Very interesting reading. Okay. Should say, interesting set of cards. All right, I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the Knight of Wands. All right, so some of you here are considering making like a shift in life, you know, is what I'm feeling here. The Knight of Wands, it can represent relocation, okay? And so when I think about this idea of relocation, obviously this could mean that some of you are thinking about moving and like relocating, moving house, moving residence, changing where you live, that sort of thing. You could also be relocating in terms of like your business, right? Like some of you may be deciding to change your office or change your job in a certain way. This is kind of the way I'm extrapolating here with the Knight of Wands. It's just coming into my mind, okay? And all of this kind of boils down to you're thinking about a shift in life, okay? And with that, the Knight of Wands, this person is okay with risk. This person is actually a risk taker in the tarot. And they're okay with doing something a little bit different, something against the grain, right? As you see the pyramids in the background, for tarot, I usually associate those with like foreign places, distant lands, foreign culture, somebody who's okay with experiencing or doing things differently, right? From the rest of, from everybody else, right? So this person's really in their element with that, right? And, there's a lot of things here with the Knight of Wands, but it's generally a very good card. It's an exciting energy. It could be an event that happens in your life that you're excited about as well. And we'll try to get some more messages as it relates to that card, as we go along here. But always love to see the Knight of Wands to start off a reading here. And as I look at the cards, a risk just might pay off for you. Okay, there is something about risk and reward here. Yeah, that I'm seeing. A risk, it just might pay off. And this might be in a relationship. Some of you may be, as you do have a nice relationship message here, this whole reading is not going to be about relationships, but, some of you may decide to kind of put yourself out there or in a way that you haven't before, that is if you're single. Some of you may commit to someone, and that might be new to you, like fully commit to someone, right? And decide that this is a partnership that you want to be in, But we'll try to get more details here. Overall, I'm liking what I'm seeing in the initial overview here. There's a little bit of a curveball. We'll talk about that more as we go along. In the middle, you do have this Two of Cups. All right, and the Two of Cups card, this is about partnership. It's the best love card in the tarot, but these are two souls here linking up in this lifetime, and it's a really deep card of commitment, of partnership, of union in the tarot here. And it may feel like you've already known this person. You may have a past life connection if you put stock into that. Not everybody, chooses to put energy into like past life connection or soulmates or twin flames. I combine the words there. But if there was ever like a soulmate or a twin flame or a past life connection card, it would be this. It would be the Two of Cups. So I like this because there's also some sort of offer or opportunity with it here as well in love, with the Page of Cups below. We'll talk more about that as we go along. But, more broadly here, I get a sense that some of you are even, like if there's not another person in the picture, or there's not another person involved here, some of you may be partnering up with yourself and saying, I'm going to do this. Like I'm going to, and this isn't even in relationships. This is in another area of life. Some of you are partnering up with yourself and saying, I'm going to take this risk and I'm going to have confidence in myself, Taurus, and I'm going to see where this leads me. I think also could be on the table here because there might not be another person involved. We only see one court card, I believe. Yeah, only one court card, well, plus the Knight of Wands, right? So, but I'm viewing the Knight of Wands as like an event that's going on, right? So that's very possible. Now, in this first column here, you have the Nine of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Tower. All right, I see that you have been... you know what? I'm going to wait for a second here with that Nine of Wands. I'm going to jump right to the Wheel of Fortune. This is the idea of the Wheel of Fortune generally represents luck. And of course, good fortune. Luck is one of those things that is out of our control, but we can put ourselves in positions to get lucky or to be lucky. And what I see here, I love this combination of the Knight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I think that this is about a risk paying off. Okay, as I look at this Wheel of Fortune and this Knight of Wands. And this may be because it's part of your destiny. The Wheel of Fortune is a card that represents destiny in the tarot. And the example I love to give, I always use this, I guess, analogy, less than example. I always use an analogy, which is like, all right, you're in the train station. The train of your destiny is arriving. You can either choose to get on the train or stay in the station. That is the idea of the Wheel of Fortune. No choice is wrong. Neither choice is wrong. If you want to stay in the station, that is not a wrong choice. And if you want to get on the train and see where it takes you, that's also an okay choice. I think you are about to get on the train. That's what I think. Okay, I think you will end up taking a risk here in some area of life. This could mean, and I see that you're walking away from something too. We're going to get into that more. But I see that this involves you letting go of a disappointing situation or just a situation that is stale or no longer in alignment with you. And I'm getting lucky break vibes here because you have the Wheel of Fortune and then you have the Tower. The Tower is a surprise. It's a shock, it's awe, it's upheaval, but the Tower may suggest that you are being released from something that you are trapped in. And I'm thinking that some of you are not exactly comfortable with what you do in career. Okay, I'm thinking some of you are not exactly comfortable with what you do in career. If you are employed, right? If you're no longer, let's say I'm not talking to people who are retired right now. And I will say for the retirees here, the pace of your life, the pace of your situation, it's stagnant. And so I think maybe, if you are a retiree or you're not working right now, some of you are ready to make a shakeup. Okay, some of you are ready to change something up here. Maybe this looks like a new apartment, or looks like a new house with the Knight of Wands. Or maybe this looks like you finally going to Europe. You always wanted to take a Euro trip. Or, something like this. Or you wanted to go to Hawaii forever. You never had a chance to go to Hawaii. Regardless if you're working or you're not working, if you're here for a relationship, you are taking a risk. You are doing something that is not exactly in your comfort zone. You are stepping out of your comfort zone. And this is providing you with or this is showing up as sort of like a lucky break. Okay? At this time, this Tower, this Wheel of Fortune. And it's essentially, the cards are suggesting that this is, you are no longer going to be trapped in this scenario, right? Because the Nine of Wands, this is resistance. This person really just needs to cross the finish line, but they're at that 5% stage, right? They're already 95% of the way through. They're at that last 5% stage, and that stage is the hardest, right? In the middle here, you have the Strength card, the Two of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So the Strength card is this person's totally comfortable getting out of their comfort zone, right? They're totally okay with getting out of their comfort zone. This is somebody who is brave, somebody who is bold, courageous. And I see that you're really thinking about this. Okay, you're really, really thinking about this. Like, do I have it in me? The answer is that you do, but you don't need me to tell you that, right? I could tell you that until I'm blue in the face, but until you actually move on it, you'll never experience it, right? But some of you are thinking like, okay, do I have it in me to go take a trip? Or do I have it in me to move? Or do I have it in me to start that business, leave my job, or even just get a new career? And I think that this is something that's really on the table for you. You have offers and opportunities here with the Page of Cups as well. For some, this will be in love, as the Two of Cups is there. You may have met by happenstance. Okay, you may have met this person by happenstance, as you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower. Like, you probably weren't looking for a relationship if you are single. And you just ran into this person, or just you met by happenstance in some certain way, So love what's going on here for you. Now, in the final column, you have the Ace of Wands, the Justice card, and the Eight of Cups. Now, here's where I think the risk pays off, right? Never 100% in life, Hard to say that anything's a sure bet. Maybe some things are, but, anything can happen in life, right, is what I'm saying. But here's where I think the risk will end up paying off for you. Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning in life. This is a perfect card for starting a business. Or, if you're not a business person, you don't want to be self-employed, that's okay. Is a perfect card for starting a new job, right? There's an offer here. There's a proposal here with the Page of Cups. But I would like to see the Page of Wands. But the Ace of Cups, this is the spark of life. It's excitement. And I think that you will go in a new direction here as you have that card. Plus the Eight of Cups. This is the walking away. This is the letting go of something, And I think that some of you are either just not happy in the job that you're in, or you're not happy with your current situation. Let's say you're not working. Like, something is, I'm getting stale, or something is unfulfilling, maybe is the word. Like, just generally feeling unfulfilled. And I see that you're going to be making steps to change that. And here is the Justice card, right? The Justice card says, this will all balance out, right? Justice is about karma. Karma is the accumulation of your actions and their outcomes, right? The actions and the steps that we take in life are really very important. That is the Justice card. And that the scale is representative of that, right? And so here it is, right? Like, it is your karma to start that business, right? To find that relationship, to take that trip, to change your location, right? So this is where I feel like it's paying off for you by doing something that's a bit different. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's move into the clarifications portion of this reading here. And let's pull some oracle cards, and then we'll also pull some tarot cards for you. All right. Okay. Energy on the bottom. You do have Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. Okay. Right now it's like a time where it's kind of the opposite of what I've been saying in this reading, which is like right now people are kind of like in this wait and see because of the astrology. And so maybe it is that you need a little bit more information before this happens. We'll see if that is going to play out as we look at the rest of the clarifications. But maybe. You have Air Guardian, shift your perception. You have Hermit, retreat and recharge, which is why I said, yeah, maybe. And then Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. Okay, so maybe you do need some time to connect with, what does this risk and reward look like to me? What does this look like to me? I think you're probably going to end up doing it. But you may find comfort in spiritually connecting with yourself, with your higher spirit, with God, your guides, or God, if you're a God person, with your guides, your spirit team, and, like really connecting to see where it is that how does this risk and reward look like for me, you know? You have Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. You have Summer, bask in joy and light. And then you also have Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. Yeah. So this is a great time for reflection right now in this portion of November. Really is. So let's go ahead and let's get into the tarot clarifications. Now, Taurus, do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Do hope things are going well for you. And yeah, let's see what we have here. You have the Eight of Wands, you have the Chariot, and you also have the Ten of Cups. Eight of Wands, Chariot, Ten of Cups. Okay, so let's see here. So the Eight of Wands is a major breakthrough in life, and especially in a reading like, I say major breakthrough because in a reading like this, it feels like all of the, like, I'm going to use a phrase here, you've created the right geometry for this to happen, right? You've taken the right steps. Like, you've set yourself up for a breakthrough to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have taken the right actions, you've taken the right steps, you've created the right geometry for yourself for a breakthrough to come in. And, if you are stuck in that last, 5%, if you are stuck in that, if you feel like things are getting hard, that's probably a good thing, because you're probably making major progress personally or even spiritually. On a personal level, you're maybe making major progress. But also, with that Eight of Wands and, that Nine of Wands, I think that you're going to push through and see the finish line here. Now, the Chariot is all about driving forward with success. It's a major card of success and victory. And I love how it's with this Wheel of Fortune. This Wheel of Fortune was sticking out to me strong in a big way as I put the cards down initially in this reading. So Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Wands, lucky break, risk paying off. And the Chariot saying, have confidence in a certain direction. Chariot, strength, have confidence as you charge forward in a certain direction, right? Because there's a victory on the horizon. The Chariot's also as above, so below, right? The actions and, the choices we make in life are really very important. And the energy we put out there, it does really come back to us, as above, so below, right? So, in other words, to sum this up, you're in the driver's seat here, Taurus. You really are. Interestingly enough, the Chariot's associated with vehicles, but you are in the driver's seat. The Ten of Cups, look, this Tower is not a bad thing. Okay? This Tower card is going to be fine. This Tower card is more so about getting unstuck. It's like a car, in this type of reading, you are being released from something you are trapped in, especially as the Ten of Cups is with it, right? Ten of Cups is about overwhelming happiness here in the tarot. So let's see what's in the middle column. I love that you got the Ten of Cups with that. Yeah, lucky break energy. You have the Four of Wands. You have the Two of Cups, clarifying the Two of Cups, okay? And you have the Lovers. All right, so this definitely warrants a love message. All right. Four of Wands is a card of marriage, big card of marriage, It can also be about stability as well, ceremonies. But to get the Two of Cups twice and the Lovers now, I mean, wow. I will just say this, if something feels right with a person, you're probably right. You probably are right to have those feelings about, well, of course you are, right? But if it feels right, it's probably right, with a connection or with somebody that you've met, is what I'm trying to say here. And I would say that this person is definitely very much interested in you, as you have the Page of Cups and the Lovers. This person might be ready for deep commitment. Okay, this could be you, this could be the other person, but somebody here is ready for deep commitment in a really deep bond. Okay, so I was thinking like, where is the long-term message? In the, as I look at the initial vibe for the love messages here, where's the long term? Here it is. The Four of Wands, Lovers. That is definitely something that could have staying power. And I really, really like this. Now, by the way, this person might be at a distance. You and this person may share different cultures as well. By the way, I should also say that. Eight of Wands, Knight of Wands. Okay. Yeah, they may live somewhere else, different country, different state, different city. That's possible, not 100%, but it's possible. They may be at a distance, or again, like it might be, you might have different cultures between the two of you. And now for the people who are not here for love, like this is an important choice, okay? The Lovers, it represents an important choice. And I think that Spirit's giving you a big go ahead on connecting to partnering with yourself to make this change. Now, some of you may also already be in a pre-existing long-term partnership with someone, and there may be a little bit of like standing your ground there and saying like, this is what I really, really want to experience. And I would say that if you can do that, there's an opportunity for you here to like reach common ground. And I think that if you are in a partnership, that the significant other here, they'll be on board. Okay, they'll be on board with whatever risk you're trying to take here. I really do. Okay, yeah, but let's go ahead and let's take a look at this final column here. This looks absolutely incredible for you. So you have the Five of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles, and you have the Six of Swords. All right, Five of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Six of Swords. All right, the Five of Swords, it does indicate some sort of like loss or defeat in life. You know what I think this is about? And the Ten of Pentacles is quite literally the opposite. The Ten of Pentacles is abundance, it's gain, it is legacy money, legacy wealth, like leaving a legacy, generational money, building an empire, these sorts of things, come forward. It's also like family money, right? Can also be there with the Ten of Pentacles, or just generally abundance, right? So I think what's going on here is some of you are weighing risk and reward. Like, okay, because these are opposite cards, right? So I think some of you are saying like, okay, well, if I start this here with the Ace of Wands, like what's the worst possible outcome? Some of you are thinking about what's the worst possible outcome. And then you're also thinking, okay, but what's the upside? Ten of Pentacles, right? And even with the Justice card and the scale there, you're like weighing, right? You're weighing your options, weighing your decision, right? Ultimately here, what the cards are suggesting is with the Eight of Cups and the Six of Swords down here, you will undergo this transition in life. Okay, I think you're going to see what's out there. I think you're going to end up doing what you have wanted to do. Okay, you're going to stick with your gut, because right now, there's something in your gut that's not making sense, okay? Whether that is at your job, or let's say you're not, I've already talked about it, like if you're retired, let's say, like the day-to-day is just not there, like you want something else, right? Or, in the relationship, like you feel it in your gut that this person's actually somebody I want to spend time with. And I think that you'll actually end up going for it. That relationship, that is. Yeah, here it is. You're undergoing the transformation here with the Death card. This is a big card of change. I definitely see change on the board for you here, Taurus. I love this for you. All right, let's see what else we have here. I'm going to go ahead and pull some Kipper cards for you and see what we have. All right, so you have concern, official person, poverty, main female, message, and sudden wealth. Everybody loves this card here. And I'm actually not surprised to see this, because this card for me generally means luck in the Kipper, right? So we already talked about how you have the Wheel of Fortune, And now you can see the slot machine on the card here. For me, this is more about the idea of luck. And I really think that if this is your reading, if this is what you're going through, some of you could be experiencing a significant lucky break. Okay? I also think that some of you, a risk could really, really pay off based on this reading. All right? Now, some of you have a little bit of like concern about the downside risks here with the concern and poverty card, and I think that is totally normal. But I also think that with message and official person that you could be maybe even getting like, I would say like in any other type of reading, message and official person would be some type of offer, usually like from a higher up or something along those lines. But I think some of you may even be getting like a second opinion on this scenario here. There's a main character in your life. Doesn't matter what gender they are, as you have this main female. Yeah, there's the mature woman, and you have community here as well. I actually don't usually do this, but look, this is your decision to make. So as I look at this expectation, mature woman community, this is ultimately your decision to make, and you can't be living out somebody else's destiny. Okay, this is your destiny, and this is looking very, very good. You do have wealthy man on the bottom. Could be a wealthy partnership that is sort of stacking up for you, but really this is about investments. The wealthy man's about investments, and I think that you are investing in yourself by taking a risk. All right, Taurus, this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.